Hey everybody, I'll give you a little update on the soybeans that we planted last Saturday. Today is the following Saturday. They've been in the ground for a week now, obviously. Overall, they look really good. Pretty good stand count. See if I can focus this down the rows. You can see them coming up. I would say they started coming up about probably a day and a half, 2 days ago. As you can tell back over the horizon, we're fixing to get a pretty good little rain. They're calling for severe weather tonight, so I'm glad that these come up out of the ground when they did. Obviously, pounding rain could have been devastating on these beans. For the most part, there's still a few that's trying to come up, like this one right here, still bent over. If they haven't completely emerged out of the ground, you get a hard pounding rain. It sets up the soil just like concrete, which will eventually end up breaking the head off of it and causing the plant to die. Overall, I got a pretty good stand. Like I said, I'm pleased with it. This is the first year that I've ever drilled beans in the ground on 15-inch rows. Most time I put them in on 7.5s. Average yields off of that runs somewhere in the mid 40s to I have had 52. On one occasion I hit 63, but that was on turf ground that had been in pasture for probably 25 years, so that was just a fluke. But anyway, like I said, overall I'm real pleased with these. Let me get a tape measure out. Now, from what I've been told by different ones who have drilled beans before, it's still pretty much the same as if you meter them in with a planter. For 140,000 population, you want 4 pods to the foot. So obviously metering them out places them right where you want them, where drilling them is just sowing them in a row. But as you can see, there's our 1 foot mark, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are other places where, like here, where there's a big gap in between, and then you have a bunch. So I would say overall we're pretty close to 140,000 population. I was a little worried whenever I was planting these that I wasn't going to hit my benchmark of 140, but I believe we're going to do okay. I'll keep you on top of how things go with them. There has been no herbicide put down on this field yet whatsoever. I want to let the beans get just a little bit taller, let the weeds germinate and come up, and then we'll come in and spray them with Roundup and see how that goes. I'll do my stand count probably, I'd say probably about another week. Let these beans get up where they're the ones that haven't germinated and come out of the ground yet, and that way that'll give them time and give a little bit more accurate count of where we go with pods per foot. But anyway, just want to give you a heads up on where we're at with it. This again is the conventional tillage farm. This farm here, as far back as I can remember, has never had a ripper put to it. I had a lot of soil compaction issues last year with corn. I pulled a couple of stalks up. The roots just, there was no penetration deep in the soil at all. They just kind of branched out and went out. So I run a ripper across it last fall, probably back in November. I would say we probably ripped about 12 to 14 inches deep. Let that lay throughout the winter. Come in the spring, disc it 4 times. That's 1 including incorporating the fertilize. I run a color mulcher across it and then hit it with a drill, and here's what we have. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will do our stand count, like I said, probably another week. I'll bring you along with me when we do that, and in the meantime I'm fixing to head for the truck before I get wet. We're calling, like I said, for some severe weather tonight, possible tornadoes, some damaging winds, hail. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll talk with you later.